Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll see what is AWS Step Functions. Guys, till now we have been running single Lambda functions, but real applications don't work like that. They usually have multiple steps. One function runs, then another runs, and sometimes we need decisions in between. This is exactly where AWS Step Functions comes in. In this video, we'll build a simple workflow where we'll validate an order and based on the result, we'll either process it or reject it. So here we'll create three lambdas. One is to validate the order. Then we have a choice state, and then based on the condition, we'll trigger process order lambda or we'll trigger reject order lambda. Okay, guys. So let's see how to implement this. So guys, I am in AWS console now, and here I have already created three lambdas. So first one is validate order lambda. This lambda will going to validate the order. So let's update the code. Guys, this is a very simple code. I'll explain you. So here first we'll log that event object and then we'll fetch the order ID and amount from the input. Then we are checking if the amount is less than 1, then the order is not valid, else it is valid. And then we are returning order ID, amount and whether it is valid or not. So this is a very simple lambda, and in the choice condition we'll check this is valid field. Okay guys. So let's deploy this code. So guys, our first lambda is ready. Now the second lambda is process order. So if the order is valid, we'll process the order. So here as well, we'll write a very simple code. So here first we are logging the event object and then we are returning a JSON object where we are returning the order ID and the status as order processed successfully. So guys, this is just for a demo. That's why we have kept the code very simple only, because here we have to understand what is step functions. So guys, let's deploy this code now. Now the third lambda is reject order. So here also we'll write a very simple code. So guys, here also we are logging the event object, and in the return statement we are returning a dictionary with order ID and status, and the status value is order rejected. Okay guys, so now let's deploy this code. So guys, all the three lambda functions are ready now. Now let's create a step function. So for that we'll search step function here. Here we'll click on this hamburger button and let's open state machines. So guys, inside step function service, we have to create state machines. So let's create a state machine and let's provide the name for it. Dev by Shashank step function demo. And guys, here we have two options, standard and express. So for now, we'll select a standard only and let's click on this continue. Let's collapse this left pane. Guys, this is the workflow where we have to integrate all our services that we are going to use. So here in this state machine, we're going to use three lambdas and one choice statement. So for that, if you see in the left hand side, inside the actions, we have different AWS services. So let's say the first one is AWS Lambda and invoke. So using this, we can invoke a Lambda. Then we have SNS publish. We can send a message to SNS. We can run ECS task. We can start other step functions. And here we have almost all the services. Okay. So for now, let's keep it simple. And here we are going to use AWS Lambda invoke only. So I'll drag this and I'll put it here. Now guys, in the right hand side, if you see, there is this configuration section. Right now, we are going to use state query language, and here we are going to use JSON ATA. I'll explain about this JSON ATA in the next session. For now, let's keep it very simple. Now here, the second option is state name. Let's change it. Instead of Lambda invoke, I'll put a validate order. This Lambda will be the validate order Lambda and it will validate that order. And here we have to select our function name. So this is the validate order Lambda. And for now, just leave all the configuration as it is. Now after this Lambda, we have to check whether the order is valid or not. So for that, we'll go inside this flow and here we have this choice state. Let's put it here. So now in the right hand side, let's change the state name. Here we'll write is order valid. Okay. Now we have some rules here. Like in our coding language, we write if else statement, correct? So it's kind of a same. In the if condition, we'll check whether the order is valid or not. So here I'll edit this rule one, and here we have to write the condition in JSON ATA format. So for that, here if you see for condition, it's showing a suggestion. We have to write the condition inside these curly braces and percentage icons. So here let's write the condition, and here we have to read the is valid value. So that is valid value will going to receive inside the states.input variable. So for that we'll have to write states.input dot is valid equals to true. So is valid, this is the same field that our first lambda is returning. So if we go here in the first lambda, so here we are returning is valid in this JSON dict. So we have to check the value of this field only. So here to read the value of is valid, we have to fetch it like this states.input.isValid. So here I have added the condition, and the second condition will be the default only. So when the is valid value will be false, it will go inside this default state. So here now we need process order lambda, and here we need reject order lambda. So we'll go into the sections, and here let's drag this invoke lambda and one more here for default state. And now let's update the configurations. So here we'll write process order. Here we'll select the process order function and just leave all the configuration as it is. And now here in the third lambda, let's click on it and let's provide the state name as reject order. And now let's select that reject order function and just leave all the configuration as it is. So now this workflow is almost done. We just need to attach success and failure steps only. So for that, we'll go into this flow. So here after this process order, we'll put success, and after the reject order, we'll put this fail. So guys, as we have added success and failed step, so now what will happen? If it processes the order successfully, it will mark that step function execution as success. And if it is going to reject the order, then it will going to mark that execution as failed. Guys, now our workflow is ready. Let's create it. So guys, as you know, in Lambda function, we have to attach IAM role, only then it works. Similar cases here as well, as this step function is going to trigger Lambdas and it is going to generate logs and all, right? So here also we need an IAM role. So here it is asking for the confirmation of role creation, where it will add these permissions. For Lambda, it will add invoke permission. X-ray is to trace the logs and all. So it is going to add X-ray permissions as well. So here we'll click on this confirm button. Now our state machine has been created successfully. Now let's execute it. So for that we'll click on this execute button. And now here we have to provide the input. So let's provide the input in JSON format and let's see the code of first Lambda. So here we need only these two fields, order ID and amount. Let's copy the field name. We'll put it here and let's provide the order ID as order 123, and second field is amount. For now I'm putting 1000 here, and now let's start the execution. So guys, here I have put the amount as 1000, so it is going to process the order. So here if you see, first it invoked validate order, then it went to choice state, it checked the condition. As the amount was greater than 0, so the order was valid. So it invoked this process order lambda, and then it went to this succeeded state. And guys, if you see here, it has not invoked that reject order lambda function. Now let's click on this first lambda. And here if you see in the right hand side, so this is the input that we passed to this state machine. So the same input went to this lambda, and this is the output that our lambda generated. Order ID is 123, amount is this, whether it is valid or not. Okay, then next is choice state. Let's click on it. So here the input of this choice state is same as the output of that above lambda. So this was the input for this state, and here it checked that is valid condition and it was true. And guys, here This choice state is just to check the condition. Here we are not changing the JSON object. So the output was same as the input only. And here it checked the condition, and based on it, it triggered this process order lambda. So here the input was same, that choice state returned. Okay, and here the output was order ID as 123 and the status is order processed successfully. So this is the same thing that we have configured in our process lambda. I'll show you here as well. So this is our process lambda, and from here we are returning order ID and the status as order processed successfully. So now the next state is success state. Let's click on this, and here also it is not doing any transformation. So here the input and output both are same. So guys, this is how we use step functions. Now let's test another scenario as well. Let's scroll up, and here we'll click on this new execution. Let's change the order ID as 1234, and this time let's put the amount as 0, and now it will going to reject this order. Let's start the execution. So here if you see, it invoked this validate order function, and this is the input for this, and it returned is valid as false. Then it went to this choice state, it checked the condition, is valid value was false, so it triggered this reject order lambda function. And here the input was same, and in the output it returned order ID as order 1234 and the status as order rejected. And in the next step, as this was a fail step, so here if you see, it has not returned any output, and it has raised an error, fail state executed. So guys, this is the benefit of adding success and failed steps. Using these steps, you will be able to easily identify which invocation got failed or succeeded. So guys, this is how step function works. It's very easy to work with step function, and in real-time projects, we generally need step functions because we have to integrate multiple lambdas and services together. So we generally need this. So thank you guys for watching this video. In the next video, I'll show you how state machine actually works. And if you like this video, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. And if you have any doubt, just put it in the comment box.